We'll both go live.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Ing.
Hello, and welcome to the Wulf Cast podcast, episode 2.
Episode dose for the Spanish followers.
Yeah, okay.
De for the French, thy for the German, ni for Japanese,
Inisa, yeah.
ichi ni, yeah.
Ikunisa.
Done lost me.
Alright.
Sorry.
Oh, shit. So what are we talking about? What are we doing? What do we say? What do you know? What do you say?
Oh, who do you know? Who do you say?
I know a lot of things.
Right.
Do you?
Well, I was
Yes.
thinking maybe this episode we talk about inspiration, things that inspire us, things that led us to be who we are, to do what we do.
What is this, a job interview?
No, just
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
Mr. Fang, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Dead.
Oh shit.
That's where. There you go. There's your answer.
There's my answer.
Did you imagine going to a job interview and they're like,
Where do you
where do you see yourself in 5 years? Honestly, dead.
Honestly, good.
Yeah, what,
And we're a minute into this. We're a minute into this podcast and it just went dark.
Yeah. Well,
Heavy,
it just
man.
it reminds me of we had a life insurance saleswoman here, and it was May helping out a friend because they were doing it as learning how to do the shit. And the actual professional who was there turned and asked me after talking to May for a minute, and they go, "Well, what about you? What do you want to happen to you when you die?" I was like, "Throw me in a hole or throw me out to the dogs. I don't care. I'm dead." And she looked at me.
Christ.
She looked at me like I had just spoken demonic language at her. It's like, no, I don't.
She said the power of Christ compels you. That's
Like-
not gonna work on me, bitch.
Essentially, that's what
But
happened.
it was, I had to stifle a laugh because just her reaction to that was flawless.
She was just so caught off guard, like she wasn't expecting to have someone do that, but
I'm sorry, I personally don't see a need to put my body in a big fancy box that nobody's ever going to see again.
I mean,
Unless somebody robs my grave, and in which
well,
case,
no, but you're gonna have family that's gonna want to see you.
but they're gonna want to see me, not the box.
But that's the next best thing. Well, they're not gonna see the box. They're gonna see the tombstone.
I've always seen it as when I die, put me on a, I don't know how else, basically a pyre, but not without lighting me on fire, part of it, and cover me in white cloth, and there you go.
So you want to be cremated?
No,
I'm confused. I don't know what that means.
just bury me in white cloth. Just cover my body in white cloth, throw me in a hole.
they do have that burial though. It's where it's just called a natural burial, where they dig a hole, cover you in a white sheet, and put you in the grave. Like it's actually becoming a lot more popular with people because they don't want to spend that much money on.
People don't have the money
Yeah.
for $5,000 caskets.
But I mean, let's talk about that real quick. Like, who thought about that?
It actually, there's an entire history about it.
No, I know that, but like, decided to make the pine boxes that we get buried in so expensive. Like, that's a hell of a market.
Here's the reason why. Back in the
You
days
can't take the money with you to the grave.
well,
That's
back in the day of like when the penicillin shot was needed and shit, like Balto, for example, the movie Balto.
Yeah.
You saw the guy in there. He was making caskets. A lot of people were dying. A lot of people were dying quickly. And some guy who was like, I make caskets for a living, but I could be making a lot more money. Look at this fancy box.
Look at this fancy box.
Don't you want your loved one to look pretty when they go into the grave? Here you
Right.
go. It has Bluetooth. And you're like, what?
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 Why would I need Bluetooth?
Hello, hello.
I think somebody actually did make a gag casket that had USB ports and its own like
Hi, Ivy.
its own like
Welcome to the
plugins and shit, and it was meant as a gag, but apparently people took it way too seriously.
Can you imagine just like, well, I don't imagine anyone just strolling through the graveyards, but it's like walking by and just slightly hear just music playing from the ground. You're like, what
Right.
the fuck?
Just oh, don't mind that. It's just grandma in her grave bumping
grandma
some
That's
bumping.
music.
grandma fucking bumping some Wheezy.
Bumping some Wheezy. Listen to grandma go.
Grandma's lit. You should have had her at your
They
parties.
did make some really messed up caskets back in the day because the fear of being buried alive was a real thing. Like you had entire towns that were petrified of it. So a lot of your top selling caskets were like these glass caskets or caskets that had a slight hole in the top that a tube would go down in, and that tube would then come out of the ground up in the air, and that was meant for if by some chance somebody was buried and they weren't dead, they could call for help.
Right.
That later got changed for people would be buried with a string tied around their finger, and that string would go up to a bell that was next to their gravesite, and if they were still alive, all they had to do was wiggle their finger and that bell would ring.
All right.
You fucking imagine.
Again, another shout out to Kipitzer for the hand reference. So go follow her on Patreon at Kipitzer. Also here, it looks like on DDR as Kipitzer as well.
And if you don't, you're rude.
Don't say that.
But
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, on a slightly lighter note, the artwork that May is currently working on is actually our Brotherhood tattoo that we plan on getting with some of our buddies. Myself, Alpha, and what is his fucking...
Smeagol and
What does he go
Captain.
by now? It's not Captain anymore.
oh, this is bad.
I
Scuba
thought-
Steve.
Yeah.
Scuba Steve,
Scuba
damn
Steve!
you!
But yeah, this is a Brotherhood tattoo that we are looking at getting.
And I need it like now.
Do you not see me working on it?
No, I mean it like I need
Oh,
it on my
no.
body now.
On your body now.
You're erasing it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what are you doing,
I
love?
hit the wrong button. I did the wrong thing.
It's Thanos snapped. It's going away.
Oh shit.
Thanos said, "Fine, I'll do it
I'm not being
myself."
Iron Man.
I lowered the wrong thing. I'm
Scoops.
sorry.
Scuba Steve's done got Cap, so
I've said I was pretty. I never said I was smart.
Ew.
but back to the original
Yeah.
question.
But back to the original.
Wait,
with,
we had
What
a
it-
question.
Well, it was more or less like what inspires you to like what you're doing. So like in theory, like who inspires you to be the streamer that you are, or the League of Legends player you are, or in May's side, who inspired you to be an artist and etc.
right.
Shit, I
Don't rush it.
can't say I've had any particular other gamer inspire me at all
My
to
tablet's
play video games.
I mean, I can go first, but it might be a little bit.
I mean, we're podcasting away, so.
My my whole deal with getting into gaming and like joining TG and all that fun stuff, that just came from me wanting to it came from my old views on playing video games, which was I had to be better than everybody else in the lobby.
And that's been something for years, which is what
Yeah.
I was going to tie in with what I'm going to say.
Yeah, so me joining TG was just another way of me improving my skills in League of Legends. If I could do a similar thing, I guess I could ask to join TG's Call of Duty division, but I would have to leave the League of Legends division to do that. So
It'd just
couldn't
be
do both?
based on what his schedule would be more tight
Yeah.
if they let him. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's-
obviously don't know much about that, but
there's
like,
an entire I have to do paperwork to request a regiment change to a different game. I have to fill some shit out. And
but if he did both, it would be more or less like, so Wednesdays and Sundays is his League of Legends stuff. Say, hypothetically speaking, Tuesday and Thursday was his Call of Duty stuff, which means he would have the podcast on Sunday, and it'd be more time for him to do other things that he would want to do.
It would get, if that's assuming they even let me do both, because they do make a big deal about people being in two different regiments of TG, because that is technically two different groups.
Yeah. I guess I'll go. It's kind of, I'm gonna be spitballing because I mean I have a little bit on my mind about it. essentially, I mean, I feel like everybody has played video games in their life. If you haven't, you're a liar. But
phone games count as video games.
facts, true. But like you've played a video game, obviously you either really, really enjoy it or you just passing time, etc. Kind of ties in with Zach a little, or my bad, Fang a little bit.
Got just name drop right there.
Edit that out.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Let me just open up Source real quick and get that shit
It's
out.
not that bad. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
the people on Twitch or whatever are gonna hear it, but to edit it out, it's not hard. But
I was like, oh.
We're looking for an editor. If you can work pro bono for right now, that'd be appreciated.
but like Fang said, it's always been like a battle to see who's better. You know, Smeagol, Scuba Steve, myself, Fang.
Oh,
we
yeah.
all competed, even 1v1s in Call of Duty. But
I got clips.
Facts. But it all started. I think we started Call of Duty. It'd been like MW2, MW3 days, BO2.
Yep.
And I was just playing for fun, and we were trying to be better than one another. And then I got introduced to FaZe Clan, so like I was watching FaZe Rain, FaZe Adapt, all of them, and I was just trying to improve. But I didn't see myself getting much better, which is fine. And then I got into watching Nade Shot a little bit before he started 100 Thieves and all that, and then I got into watching Ninja to improve my Fortnite skills. So gaming wise, I would say my biggest inspirations would have been FaZe Clan in the past, 100 Thieves now, and Ninja a little bit. But wanting to stream, I've always wanted to just entertain, whether it was the YouTube stuff I did in the past or even like recently when I was a vlogger. I've done it all, from vlogging to gaming to streaming to music to everything. So like I'd say streaming is just more of me wanting to entertain other people's, whether they join and they laugh at me dying and raging, etc. As far as music wise, I was a huge Lil Wayne fan back in the day, so Lil Wayne got me inspired.
On that note, music-wise, Jonathan Young and Caleb Hiles, if you have not seen either of these men on YouTube, they are fantastic, and that is where my inspiration for music comes from.
But I also dabble in like a lot of music genres. So like, you know, you got Lil Wayne and rap, and then Luke Combs and country. Not saying that I switch my genres up and do all of them, but then like when MGK switched to punk rock, I've been huge into that. So like right now I've listened to a lot of punk rock, so that's where a lot of my inspiration in music is. So that's music, streaming, gaming, acting. Obviously, there's a lot of actors. I'm not huge into acting or anything, but you know, when we used to do skits back in the day, which I don't think they're on YouTube anymore. It could be. I don't fucking know. But yeah, you have like there's like I could spend 10 minutes naming off actors that have just inspired me. So like that's pretty much where my inspiration comes from. But going forward, as of right now, I want to focus on this podcast, streaming, and music. So that's where I'm at.
My turn, I guess.
Yeah.
For me, being an artist, it stems from a lot of things. I've always, as a kid, loved to draw. Like that was just, you would always find me with a pen and paper in my hand. You'd hear me sitting there with my dad asking to "ite," which I couldn't say the word "right" yet, so it'd always be like "ite, ite," because I wanted to write and I wanted to draw.
Kill your toe.
Till you toe, yeah. We in my family's photo album they actually have a picture of a little ducky that I drew pretty well. Like it was all multicolored. But growing up, it's like I fell in love with a lot of the older artists. So like I was really inspired by Dali and Picasso, and like I loved all of those artists.
And now you're a furry degenerate who draws.
Hey,
Badass shit.
it pays the bills, okay? But what got
Lights
me...
go out.
Honey!
Look,
Guys?
it's storming right now. Don't joke about that.
But no, what got me into the furry aspect of the furry art is that in 2004, we were playing a dragon D&D game, and my character was a dragon. So that really got me into thinking. And a friend of mine who was already a furry, we just didn't know the term for it yet, was showing me all this awesome artwork that she had found and had done and really liked. And
I'm being used as an art reference right now,
yes,
and
you
I don't
are.
know how
Shut
I
up.
feel about it.
You're always my art reference. Shut up. And but I started
You're from
uh
real.
but I started looking at the art. I'm like, oh, it's so cool and blah blah. I really like this, and it's really awesome looking. And so like I started thinking of a character of May, and that's kind of like where May was developed. And I hadn't really drawn her fully yet. I don't believe. Like I think she was there as a concept, but I hadn't put her to pen and paper. And then eventually it made it to pen and paper, and just I started doing it from then. Um, and it's been just a really fun and really big journey of learning, um, as to what I can and can't do, and a lot of trial and error. And a lot of people ask me, it's like, well, I could, like, I wish I was so talented. Like, I even have friends of mine that are fantastic artists that I'm like, man, I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah, but
Your art's amazing.
your art's nothing to bat an eye at, though, dear. It's
Yes, but when you like, and
Best in
so
the Midwest.
thank you. But like when I look at all these other artists on, Weasel or For Affinity
you're
or just like they are phenomenal artists. I'm just like, oh, I look like Child's Play compared to them.
yeah, but they
You gotta
also have been
think they're
doing it.
probably that's all they do.
Yeah, they've
You
been.
you know you have a kid, you have a life like outside of that, they probably just 7-8 hours a day do nothing but art. And I'm not saying that some days you don't do 7-8 hours of work, but
Oh, there are literally nights, dude, where she's up late finishing whatever art piece. Like I think just Friday night, in fact, you stayed up pretty late finishing an art commission.
Yeah, no, so, yeah, I
Friday
stayed up
night.
until like 5 a.m. working on art.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not healthy to do that, but I was bound and determined
But
to get it done.
you also can't compare yourself to artists like Wolfie Nail, who literally charge what $500 a piece.
No. It's more like 100, 200. But you have the bigger one. Like I was just having this conversation on my Discord about certain artists that charge like thousands of dollars
Mhm.
of art. We're just like Jesus. But granted, their art is amazing. But
Yeah.
I mean,
But
so
they also probably have the tools, and they probably have, maybe, I don't know,
right,
they might have people who look over their stuff for flaws so they can go back and perfect it and do all this other stuff. Like they might even have a team to back them up.
right. But I mean, by no means does it discredit them as an
Oh,
artist.
no, they're still
So
fantastic
yeah, they're
art.
still amazing.
To each their own. To make your shit work and to make it look good, to each their own. But I'm just saying that's
yeah.
some of the things you are missing comparatively.
Yeah. And I want to point out, I apologize to people on YouTube if it's stuck on the screen for a while. I forgot to switch it over, so you missed the first part of me deleting.
Yeah, they're probably driving in their cars anyway.
Make sure you're not on your phone. Pay attention. Wash behind your ears. Eat your veggies. Mom says so.
No, listen to the podcast everywhere. I don't care if you're shitting.
Well, they can listen to it. Don't watch the video while driving. That is
Yes.
bad. That is distracting. You will die. Watch out for that tree.
Look, I already tried to put claws on your guys' hands.
What
That
was
is-
that? Was that a George of the Jungle reference?
No, that was a hey,
Watch
look up
out
from
for that tree.
that was a call to look up from your phone and make sure you don't hit that damn tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before you put it in reverse out of your driveway, hit play, put it down, and go.
If you got YouTube Premium, lock your phone.
Yeah, lock the phone. Don't look at it. Be smart. I know it is illegal in good portion of the
Everywhere.
state.
It's everywhere. It's pretty much everywhere. It's pretty hefty fine.
Isn't it here where we live? Isn't it like? Because I think our roommate was saying that it was like you instantly get your license
Oh
suspended.
yeah, you'll get your license suspended. You'll pay a fine, and if you don't have anybody to drive that car back, your car will get towed.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, it's worth it. I mean, don't text and drive.
Yeah. Alpha.
I don't text and drive. I hit the next button.
I don't either, bitch.
You are such a liar.
I don't.
Uh huh.
I don't.
Well, we just got canceled.
Now we haven't said anything dicey yet.
D6.
I'm just trying to roll like a fucking charisma
Like a
check.
G6.
Oh, good God. Don't get me started on music. I can go all day about music, man.
There needs to be one day we need to get on here to do this podcast, except it'll be us playing the Blockbuster game.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun. Just have a live pod, like a game night podcast. How cool would that be? Like maybe on like Saturdays have like a game like a game.
It would be scuffed.
It would be fun. But
I don't know so much like doing the podcast and the game, but just to stream the game would still be fun.
right.
Because we would be more focused in the game versus like, reacting to chat if there was anyone in there or anyone or just the topics.
Right. It'd still be cool though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would
We
find
need to
it
get
really
together and
fun.
play that game again, though. That was
I mean, we could possibly do it this weekend if you guys are down because Steven won't have his son.
yeah.
Mhm.
We could totally do it. That'd be great. For those who don't know, the Blockbuster game we are talking about, it is literally a little, basically card game. You sit down, you got the Blockbuster symbol, which is always nostalgic to see,
Mhm.
and essentially each team will skip a step here, but each team draws 3 cards, or will play 3 cards. You have to quote it, describe it in one word, and act it, depending on where you put each of the 3 cards. And if you're movie buffs like myself and May,
Mhm.
it gets really fun.
Oh yeah, it's like we've realized that we can't be on the same team because
Excuse me?
what?
How are you not gonna throw me in there as a movie buff? I literally have 400 fucking plus movies behind me.
So sorry, Alpha. Forgive us.
Sorry, I haven't watched anything past my life expectancy. Or not
Hey!
life expectancy,
Your
preview.
life expectancy.
Sorry I haven't seen anything from next week.
What, you haven't jumped on
No,
the Black Widow?
I've seen some 80s movies.
Dude, I grew up watching the old black and white movies with my family. Like all the road movies with Bing Crosby and Bob Hope are my favorite, man. Like I love watching those movies.
What are you talking about, black and white? There's no black and white movies or TV shows.
Yes, there is.
I can go watch the very, very first actual season of Doctor Who.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know what you're talking about. It's always been. Oh, never mind.
It's always been
stupid.
Technicolor to HD color. It's always been colorized.
Right. Because what was the first 2 movies that were in color? I know one was
Wizard of
Wizard
Oz.
and there was another one that was right behind it. I don't think it was Gone with the Wind, was it?
Maybe. I don't know. That'd be something to have to look up.
All right.
But yeah, Wizard of Oz was one of the first because it did that from the brown and white and black color scheme of
That
movies.
sepia color, yeah.
To the Technicolor when they go into Oz
Your
itself.
toes are freezing. Don't touch me with those. Get away from me,
Oh.
sadist.
OnlyFans toes only?
Dude,
Thanks.
people make bank off of that, and it's real irritating because you sit there and you look at what we like. Alpha, you and I, we work, and we make what we make. But then you go over and you look at these e-girls who have an OnlyFans that make bank just by showing their feet, and you're like, you sit there and you think about it for a minute, like, man, I'm in the wrong business.
All right.
Well, shit, we take off our feet. They're gonna.
We'll get canceled immediately.
Got them boy
Guys,
toes.
my OnlyFans is like the cheapest out there, and yes, it's my feet, but fuck.
It's cut me a break, man.
But it's just, there have been several times where I hear what other people do, and props to them for doing the work they do or making bank off of whether it be OnlyFans or whatever. But I sit there and I think about it. It's like, man, I could literally be doing that and potentially making more.
Right.
Now I'm happy with the new job I've got, and I'm grateful for the opportunity for it.
Yeah.
But OnlyFans is just like, it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a risk, like streaming or anything.
You definitely can't just be like, well, made my OnlyFans, better quit my job. You can't do that.
No.
You will fuck yourself if you do that.
Yeah.
That's why you hear like all the older YouTubers and streamers that have been out for years. You hear how one day they just went all right, I'm going to take this seriously and quit my job. Can you imagine the toll that took on them to do that?
Oh yeah.
Like back when they only had maybe 5K subs and they're just sitting there like, well, I better do this full time or I'm not going to be able to do it. So they quit their job. Like, I don't think I could ever do that.
If I had, let's say streaming, because that's what I do most versus anything.
Mm.
If I had a consistent people joining, talking, I had donations coming in here and there. I'm not saying they have to be, 50 to 100 a week or what. I don't even know like how much people get donated daily. Like what's like.
Well, they also make money outside of donations too. They'll make from sponsors and viewers and all that other shit.
But if I had a decent income from streaming and a decent following, then, maybe cut back on my job or, then at that point, maybe. But like as of right now at 146 followers and, not because I don't have anything set up, because it's not been about the money with me yet.
Right.
Yet. It shouldn't be about the money in the first place. Like, yes,
no, that's not what I meant.
The money's nice, but it should be because you want to do it and it's something that you enjoy, not because I just want to make the money. Like
that's not what I meant.
Yeah,
I just meant like one day when I set it up, then if that's what, because I want to like it'd be so much more. What's the word I'm looking for? It'd be better to. Not that I don't enjoy my job, but to just wake up, hey, I'm streaming from 12 to 8 today or whatever. That's 8 hours. Most people work 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that would be the dream idea is to, wake up and to stream or wake up and to do YouTube videos or wake up and do art in your case or music or etc.
Literally do what we do as a hobby but get paid for it.
Right.
That'd be nice.
Or even if I like streamed 4 times a week and then did music one day and the podcast the next,
My brain just went blank. My brain went, I'm out.
And you said you were the smart one. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I said I was pretty. I never said I was smart.
Oh wait, yeah, you did, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
I'm the dumb one.
It was about 10 minutes ago she said that.
Pay attention to the conversation we are having.
Hey!
It's for horses.
And grass is much cheaper.
True.
That is something I heard a lot from my dad. Like,
I heard so much stupid shit that makes sense now that didn't. The one that pissed me off the most, and I still don't get it to this day. I really don't.
What's that?
Is that, your parents would always go, you're walking out the door, whether it be go wherever. Where are you going? So then you started doing it. Hey, where are you going? And I got the same fucking answer every single time. I'm going to see a man. About to go see a man about a horse.
Okay, so there is an actual reason for that.
Isn't that usually because you have to pee?
No, well, yes and no. So originally the I'm going to go see a man about a horse thing was code for either bootleg alcohol or drugs. Over the years, though, as bootlegging fell off, we didn't need to hide that we were going to get alcohol anymore. The words didn't go anywhere, so it was still...
You know what I learned about the bootlegging thing? So there are actual cemeteries and graves that have actual like hidden plates during the Prohibition era. So if you actually go to a graveyard and you see like a tombstone that has what looks like bolts in the faceplate, it's where they used to hide alcohol. I didn't know that.
There's also a house, I don't remember where it was. It was made by a bootlegger. Like the guys who worked on that house were bootleggers.
Yeah.
Somebody who went in to repair that house started ripping out the floorboards and the side paneling. And there was bottles of alcohol, like bottles on bottles of untouched alcohol just sitting under this house.
Yes.
That had been sitting under there for who knows how long.
For who knows how long.
But no, so as bootlegging got eradicated and all that fun shit, the words still stuck. It became a habit for people to say, I'm going to go see a man about a horse.
But then she would never fucking come back with a horse. And it pissed me off.
It essentially is a way of saying, stop asking questions, mind your business.
Yeah.
Or I know you guys have heard this one. And if it didn't piss you off too, then I don't even know you. What's for dinner? Food. Well, what kind of food? The
Hold
kind you
up.
eat.
Hold the fuck up. And there's a reason May is laughing. Because she does this shit.
I do.
I'll be sitting there going, "Hey, honey, what are you thinking about making for dinner?" And she'll just go, "Food." All right, smartass. What kind of
The
food?
kind you eat.
You're like, all right, listen, bitch. I ain't playing this game.
My dad. Okay, so my dad cracks me up. Like, my mom wasn't around when I was younger. She, just long story short. But it was just me and my dad. So my dad, when I'm like, "Hey, Dad, can you make me a sandwich?" He go, "Poof, you're a sandwich." I'm like, "Damn it, Dad!" Every time. I'm like, "Dad, I'm hungry. Can you make me something to eat?" He's like, "Poof, you're something to eat." I'm like, but no, I love my dad. I love my dad dearly. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those guys that will break his back.
What about
make sure you're fed?
Yeah. What about the and I still hear this one every once in a while. You want something because you'll be like, "Oh, come on, I really want that," and they look at you and go, "You can shit in one hand and want in the other, and see which one gets full."
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh my god! Fucking. Like I feel like those are not outdated, but like, I mean, you guys are parents. I'm not, but I feel like we have to come up with something new. We can't use that same shit. I mean, we do, but
Why
like,
not?
what are
They've
we
never heard
supposed to? What are we supposed to say? Dad, I'm hungry. Well, that's too damn bad.
Right.
They were bad parents.
It's too bad. Sorry about you. Oh,
I'm tired of digging, Grandpa.
Well, that's too damn bad. God, I can't wait. I want that to happen at my new job. Whether
Your
I
dad would be the one to say it.
It's either got to be my dad who says it, or it's got to be like later on in the future if I'm training somebody or whatever, or somebody's working with me and they're just sitting there and be like, "Man, I'm tired of digging." Just look at him and be like, "That's too damn bad. Too damn bad."
You signed up for the wrong shit, my friend.
Right.
Ugh.
I gotta remember, my brain's not working right now. My brain just went flat.
Seeing this picture come to life even more just makes me want it more.
Hey, potentially this weekend, man. Potentially this weekend.
Go get it Saturday and then play Blockbuster.
Slap each other on the arm while it's healing.
I'll fuck you up. That's how when I got my first tattoo done, they fucking said, "Are you happy?" And I was like, "Yeah." Kind of hurt on the right side, but it looks nice. Said, "Good." Oh fuck!
Only hurts for a second, but for that second.
Do the Starship Troopers thing where they pour alcohol on the tattoo while the person's doing it.
No.
You ain't getting a fucking tip.
They ain't getting paid.
I ain't getting nothing.
Getting the fucking tip of these knuckles is about what all you're getting.
Just the tip. Anyway.
Good God, I can't do it.
Oh.
Don't read.
I feel like we don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, it is
No, the
awkward silence.
awkward silence. No, so besides the inspiration as to what you do now, like, because with you gaming and me art, what are other things that inspire you? It could be like people, places, things, events.
My number one inspiration through a lot of it. I mean, obviously my dad has inspired me a lot to be not only a good father, but a good person. My grandpa also influenced me a lot to aspire to be somebody who helps others and teaches others and guides others.
Yeah.
That's because he was just an all-around great man. And yeah, there's actually a song I refer to back every once in a while that I didn't know existed. My mom knew it existed, but it's essentially the song "How I View My Dad." I don't know the actual name of the fucking song.
Technical difficulties. Hang on. All you see
Wiggle,
is
wiggle, wiggle. Wrong song, wrong song.
Not
Yep.
that one. Not that
Next
one.
satellite.
wrong song.
Brad Paisley song.
Another
I know
song.
Brad Paisley, but I don't.
It's He Didn't Have to Be by Brad
Oh.
Paisley, and that will be forever the song that makes me think of my dad.
I really like your dad. Your dad's a really nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Well, I mean, growing up with you, you were
Yeah,
probably.
he can be.
No, he's a great guy.
He is.
He'll fuck with you, but he's a great guy.
I mean, I think most dads will, but no, I just love how just how he is, how quietly like he'll be real quiet.
You'll meet him and you'll think he hates you or wants to kill you, or you'll think he's an asshole, and then you hear him laugh and you're like, okay,
He's pretty.
All right, I'm in.
yeah.
No, when your dad when your dad starts going, it cracks me up. Like he'll be like, "Oh yeah, it is," and just starts giggling or laughing. Like I love that.
I'm just completely grateful that like I'm not saying like they I mean they took me in, but not like in a way as like I needed a place to go or stay or something like
They
that.
were
And
a
it's
second
always
home. They were a home away
yeah,
from home.
it's always nice to be able to like because some people they're friends with their friends forever, and they don't have that connection with that side of their family. So like for someone like you and for your mom to let me be in that family, I've gone to her for helping me with my taxes and fucking to vent, and your dad taking us out one night to haunted locations, and then with Smeagol and Scoopa's parents,
Yeah.
his dad hated me. I was never a ghetto. I don't mean this in a bad way. Not like, yes, I wore my hat backwards, and yes, this, that, and the other. I had big diamond earrings, but I never assumed to be like, the little gangster wannabe. But that's what I was to him, and it was, you're not allowed to hang out with him. You're not allowed to hang out with him. Well, sorry, Dad, but 15 years later, here we are. But
another great
awesome.
thing is you could get away with shit, and then I get blamed for it. Damn Girl Scout cookie that I didn't even touch.
Listen, Zach's dad, if you're watching this, or Mom, because I know she watched the last one, I took one Girl Scout cookie. I am sorry.
But it's because you took away the candy bowl. That's why he did it.
I'm sorry that I took one Girl Scout cookie. I was a fat kid. And to be fair, did say I could have anything in the house.
I got in trouble for that.
So I love when I babysit. I loved hearing that you can have whatever you want in the house. I'm like, oh, my fat girl heart's about to get real full. Like I would. Like I would never.
I watched The House while they went to Florida, I believe, and it was you can have anything in the house. I didn't know that expired when they got back.
15 years later.
I will buy you a box of, I believe. I couldn't tell you.
I think they were the Thin Mint.
Yeah, no, they were because I don't like Thin Mints. It was the
well, you're entitled to your
kind of like
opinion.
No, I just mean like
the peanut butter one?
I don't like. No, it was the like oatmeal looking one.
Oh.
They were in a purple box.
Yeah, they had coconut on them.
Oh, you mean
yes?
You mean the oh. My brain just went blank. They're called, because they're one of my favorites, the Samoas. They're the coconut with chocolate drizzled over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
I will buy you 2 boxes to make up for the one cookie.
And you can buy us some too.
9 years later replaces the one cookie.
I mean, you can buy the knockoff brand at Walmart.
Yeah.
Do you imagine? He goes, I just like sneak into the house and I'm like, I put it in there and he like,
you sneak into that house, you're gonna get shot.
Pretty much.
Honey, did you buy these? No, where'd those come from?
I have no idea.
And just like he opens the box and there's a message in there. Sorry for stealing a cookie.
All the cookie. That would be funny. He opens the box. There's a note that says sorry for stealing the cookie all those years ago. But then there's out of that entire box, there's just one cookie.
One cookie. I ain't eating them. They're not on the diet.
Anything's on the diet if it's a cheat day.
Essentially.
Yeah, but I try to even like on cheat days, because like my brain works like this. I wake up, I'm like, I could go and eat anything I want on break because I work on my cheat day. I can eat anything I want. but I still try to stick to it a little bit. Maybe I might go more than what I normally would on a regular day. Because like my mind works like, well, I might go out with my father. I might go hang out with you guys or Steve, Scoop Steve and all of them. And, we might go out to eat or we might drink, drinking has a lot of calories too. So
Oh yeah.
I try to balance it, but whatever. But hey, I can't complain. I'm going into the 16th week of this diet workout thing, and I'm down 49 pounds. I'm four pounds away from my original goal, so I'm not complaining.
Proud of you, brother. Look at you.
So, single, ready to mingle.
If you
No,
are
you're not.
24 to 40.
If you are 24 to deathbed.
All right. Here's a challenge for everyone.
Goodness gracious.
Write a sad story using only 3 words. I got one. That if anybody listens and they're a fan, I am not sorry.
Don't you dare say what I think you're gonna say.
A sad story in only 3 words. If
divorce
anybody
you right
who's
now.
listening gets this reference, you can hate me all you want. But the
Comment
3
down
words...
below.
No, it's just simply Rose Tyler.
Fucking hate you.
What is it?
Rose Tyler.
How to anger an entire fan base in 3 words.
Yeah, that's how you get shot in a Doctor Who fan meet.
I want to go to a Comic-Con or something.
We have one here.
Indie FurCon is coming up.
I'll be in that.
I would be so fucking lost and out of it. They'd be like, "Who's this fucking kid?"
No, they
What?
wouldn't. They would
No.
accept you with hugs and
Yep.
all sorts
Hugs
of
are
shit.
nice.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the fur community. People think it's like, because they get that one, like they'll interview that one weird, rare person. That's the wrong person.
They'll interview the weirdo or the outcast who's been shunned from fur meets and
That
fur
or the
cons.
one where they did at what was it, AC one year, where this girl was just doing a normal interview, just happily telling how everything is, how fun it is, and all this other stuff, and then they edit it to make it sound like she was admitting to all these bad things, like, do you do this, do that, and they would edit it to where it looked like she was saying, yes, she did this, and yes, she did that. So you also have that, you have those people that'll get an idea in their head and they'll just make it run that way. But
yeah, furry or not, you go to a fur con and they're gonna accept you no matter what, unless you're a piece of shit, and they'll tell you to fuck off, and you'll probably be escorted off by security.
right.
But they're not terrible people.
No.
Yeah, you have a couple of weirdos here and there, but
No, what's really great is that they also have gaming communities. They have people there that play Magic. They have people that have I think they did a Smash Bro tournament. They just like, it's really accepted. Like, they have everything you could do there. They have panels to learn how to draw, panels to learn how to game, and you can go and commission artists. There's also people there that are non-furries that go to these conventions to make money. You have your dealer's den where people make fursuits, they make belts, they make armor. Like the chainmail armor is awesome.
that's another thing. People laugh at the people walking around in fursuits. I'll tell you this right now. The people you see walking around in bright, colorful, detailed fursuits make bank. They have the money to buy those. Those suits are not cheap.
They are not, or they've saved up
Not
enough
to
for
mention
the suit. Oof.
being there all day in those suits.
So, if you see a
Probably not
fursuiter,
comfortable.
if you see a fursuiter and there's somebody walking next to him that isn't in a suit, that is their handler.
Yep, that's their handler.
That handler has jobs, so their job is to make sure the suitor doesn't run into anything, because you have tunnel vision like a motherfucker in those suits. You have no peripheral vision. You can't see over the bridge of your nose, so you have to have somebody there to guide you. They're also there to make sure the fursuiter doesn't black out from heat.
I actually had a friend of mine one year. We were at a MFF. He had a heat stroke walking from the lobby up to his room.
Yep.
Because it gets incredibly hot in those suits. But like, I would love to have a suit of my character. Like, that'd be a dream
Didn't
come
we
true.
price check that and it was damn near $2,000?
Oh no, for me it'd be a lot more because of May's design.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because
Mine would only be about $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah, cause you have to figure out how to make my my frills stand up.
Yeah, that would just be coat hanger. That's all I would use. I just stuff coat hanger and paint them. That's what I would do.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I would be
gracious.
down to go to a fur con or a gaming con or even ComCon. Like those Comic Con would be
I think
one of my
Go ahead.
be amazing.
I think because we've got Indie PopCon that happens here, and we have IFC, and we have Gen Con. So, I mean, Gen Con, I haven't been to one for well over a decade, but you also have people that suit there as well. Um,
Yeah, that's another thing. You'll go to these other cons and you'll see furries in suits because why the fuck not?
Yeah, and I'd imagine going to like Comic-Con, you would see like, Marvel,
Oh
DC
yeah,
characters, etc.
there's a guy on YouTube who does this entire thing where he goes to cons as Deadpool and
mm,
he just does skits with other people who are cosplaying there,
mm-hmm.
and it looks like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, we need to figure out that shit and go.
Well, IFC is August 20th through
Don't
22nd.
don't look at me like I know that's
I
your
was
shit.
thinking, but yeah, it's usually 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You pre-reg online right now, but I mean, it's fun to do. Like I really enjoy doing it, and I mean, doing commissions there is really awesome because sometimes I get brand new customers. I have returning customers. It's just I love the atmosphere of it. Do I work my butt off? Oh yeah. Do I enjoy it? Oh yeah. And plus, you also get to see people that are coming in from out of state that you haven't seen in a while. You're just like, hey, you're alive.
Like summer when you get out of school and you're like, I'm not gonna see these fucks for three months, and then you like hit the fair, your local fair and shit, and you're like, oh shit, what up, bro?
You're alive.
There's also that joke where as a furry, you talk to other furries and you only know them by their character names. So then when you finally meet them in real life and you go to a Starbucks and they're like, "Coffee for John," and then your furry buddy stands up and you're like, "No, Shadow Fox, sit down. That was for John." Wait a minute.
You're John?
Your name's John?
That's funny. It's like that's true. Is I have a lot of friends that are furs that I have no idea what their first name is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have no idea what their name is. I know what their character name is, and I know what they look like. But if you ask me like what their actual name is, I'll be like, yeah,
Sure.
that's their name.
Do you imagine if like, since we're gamers and shit, if we just like didn't, like obviously you and I have been friends forever, and like Scuba Steve and Smeagol, but if we
Going
just
on 15 years.
literally were like, instead of hey, we just like, hey, what's up, Smeagol?
Hey,
Right.
what's up? What's up, Fang? What's up, Craig
Alpha.
32 Buck?
That's nope.
Craig.
Should we talk about your first gamer tag?
My first gamer tag that got deleted a month in? That one?
You got told to delete it.
Do I even want to know?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't much different than the one I got now, just number change.
Mm.
Because the other numbers I had weren't exactly tasteful.
What, did you make the word boob in your numbers?
No.
No. Think dark.
Are we like dark chocolate dark? Or
Hail
more
Satan,
like,
the Dark Lord Master.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Dark Lord, all hail Satan. Hail Nobra, hail Nobra. Oh, God damn it.
let's just say his gamer tag was Fang Tom Ellis.
Tom Ellis.
Fang Lucifer.
Tom Ellis can, yes.
Yeah, now it's Fang0925. If you run into that in any game, I promise you it is probably me.
It's probably me.
Occasionally, you might see a Fang0925-1. That is also probably me. I just forgot my original account information.
We talk about where we got our gamer tags from.
I will after this funny story that just reminded me in my head. So I play League of Legends, as been said. League of Legends is 5v5 MOBA game. It's multiplayer online battle arena. That's what MOBA stands for.
If you're in 2021 and don't know what League of Legends is, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's one of the top. It's one of the top grossing competitive.
I don't know what League of
games
Legends is, but I play Pokemon Unite.
It's League of Legends is adult Pokemon Unite. There you go.
Goodness gracious.
But so I was sitting there, and this was probably 2015, 2016 maybe. I was playing, and I loaded in, and on the enemy side, I believe it was the enemy top laner, because I was playing top lane. They were Fang, I shit you not, Fang 0692. So you had me on blue side, Fang0925, and then the other guy on red side. And I literally hopped into the game, put it in all chat, and said there can only be one. And proceeded to shit on him all game. I didn't care win or lose. He was my target. I wanted him to change his damn summoner name.
You think he went home and changed his gamer tag? Oh, well, he was obviously probably home, but you think he went and changed his gamer tag?
I don't think so, but I also don't know. I could look it up on op.gg, which is how you find summoner names. You can type them in and see their scores and shit and how well they do. But I don't know. I've never ran into him again, but there's also millions of players now, so.
I've had 4 gamer tags. And one of them
wasn't even yours.
Wasn't mine, it was my brother's. He had bought a 360, but he was more into sports, so he was like, hey, I'm gonna get rid of my Xbox. Do you want it? Because he knew I always wanted one. So he gave it to me. I didn't know that you could, start your own and shit. So I ran with his for a while. And I would get so pissed off when people would call me his name. I'm like, how the fuck do you change this shit? I gotta change it. So I went from Craig 32 Buck to Clark Kent 1566, which when I got my glasses the first time, I had a buddy who used to call me Clark Kent. I said, that's what I'm changing it to. And those are my favorite numbers, so I just threw them on the back. Well, then I was like, you know what? I like the character Superman, Clark Kent. I'm not huge on Superman. So I was like, I got to change this. Well, this is before. I had one a long time ago where it was like, Hold Your Boy Tell Him, which is my name with Soldier Boy mixed into it.
I remember that one.
Hold Your Boy.
That one didn't last very long.
Never had live with that account, so whatever. So back to Clark Kent. I was like, I gotta change this. I'm not huge on Superman. So I was sitting there. I'm watching my favorite show, which was Teen Wolf, which is still my favorite show. And Scott McCall, the main character, becomes the Tru Alpha. And I was like, my favorite show. I'm going with that. Unfortunately, someone must have already created the name with the E in it, so I had to go a more rapper route and put the True.
Yeah, the TRU.
So that's where the Tru Alpha is, and that's where I'm staying.
Fang0925 came from a combination of things. My nickname in my friend group in high school was Fang because I had a canine tooth on my right side that would occasionally hang out of my mouth.
Adorable.
So
I remember that.
So they gave me the nickname Fang. And then the usernames for school were typically our last names and then a sequence of numbers after those. Mine happened to be 0925. So I was like, fuck it, that'll be easy to remember. Fang 0925. And it's been that ever since.
So here's a question for you.
What's up?
Why didn't you ever... I'm sorry. Why didn't you ever... well, maybe you did.
What?
Did you ever think of the possibility of... Because obviously you wouldn't be able to put this as an Xbox gamer tag, but you would have to maneuver around it. Did you ever think about making it Crazy Fucker?
Yes. Either Crazy Fucker with like an X instead of the C to like kind of throw it off, or Crazy Fuck, one of the two. But yeah, I thought about doing that.
So some people that watch this might know what him and I are talking about, but so
hang on, let me tell how this started. I moved into the neighborhood that we all grew up in, essentially. And at the time, I didn't give a rat's ass about how my hair looked.
You still don't.
I don't want it long anymore.
I like it when it's long, though.
But so when I used to try and grow my hair out, the longest I ever had it was a little bit over my eyes, but I never kept it. I never like straightened it. I didn't brush it that often. I didn't comb it. So oftentimes I would just wake up and go outside. And there was one day before I knew this motherfucker or any of the others that I was just standing out in my garage, hair doing what it was doing, and Alpha, you can take over.
So not to mention on top of the hair, he had this crazy look in his eye. And you got to think it's summertime, so it's anywhere from 85 to 95 degrees outside. And the kid still, to this day, wears pants no matter the weather outside.
Damn straight.
He's wearing long pants, like jeans, scorching hot outside, messed up hair, and
I think I was wearing all black too.
all black, which he normally still wears too.
Yep.
Comes, or he's looking at us, and we're always down for more players, and we always played football or basketball. Normally 9 times out of 10 we tried to play football. And we're like, hey, you want to come over and play? And he's like, kind of like, oh, fuck, been spotted. So he comes running over, and, you know, like, we're kind of introducing each other. And he talked, but he didn't talk too much, which is normal for someone who is new to the neighborhood or new
or
in
making
general.
new friends.
Yeah. And so we're just like, you know what? Your name's Crazy Fucker. And we all had nicknames in the neighborhood besides me.
Yeah.
Still to this day, pissed off. Everybody in this everybody. You had Moles, Stretch, Crazy Fucker, Fitzgerald. Like, everybody had a freaking nickname but me. I felt like, I don't know, I almost felt like I was nobody. But, you know, whatever. So anyways, that's where it went from. And then his brother kind of wanted to be Crazy Fuck Junior, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I don't think that one stuck though, did it?
It didn't.
No.
It stuck for a couple of weeks and then it just didn't anymore.
Sorry, brother-in-law.
That motherfucker,
I
jealous.
essentially
He can grow his hair out.
He has the prettiest hair. Like, your brother has gorgeous hair. Like, beautiful. Not to mention that he looks like Sam
probably grow it
Winchester
out.
from freaking Supernatural.
No, because so he got mom's side of the hair where it will grow and just keep growing and it'll be nice. I got mom's side of the hair where that shit curls and curls.
Thick. Like, you have got hair that is so thick, like, it is like you could stick your hands in it and it just like sticks. Like,
there's a funny story that I damn near fell out of the hairdresser's, what are they called? Haircutter's chair. Because of this. I was at Walmart because I still don't care who cuts my hair. Hair is hair. Get it off me if I want it cut. Whatever. And I'm sitting there and my hair's grown out. I'm getting it cut. And the woman goes, "Oh, it's so thick. It's making my hand cramp." And I'm like, "You can't just say that."
Hold on. Wait a second.
I was literally trying not to fall out of the chair from laughing so hard.
I'm a little bit different than you. I'm a little picky on who cuts my hair. And it's not, like you said, I don't care. It's hair. Cut it off if I want it off. It grows back. But my father used to take me to, I'm not going to say names because I don't want anyone to bash set place. He used to go to this place, me, my brothers, my sister, all of them would go there and get our haircuts. And I'm telling you, 3 times in a row, they cut my fucking, like, you know when they go behind your ear? Yeah. They would cut my ear. Ooh. So I said, you know, F this, I'm done, I'm never coming back. And, you know, I was like 11 and 12 years old. I was like, nope, we're not doing this. So then my dad started cutting it, and then from now on, I either go to Walmart or Sports Clips.
So let me do a shout out to my hairdresser, because you need to start going to my hairdresser. If you look up her on Facebook, it's Styles by Ashley. She is phenomenal, and she's pretty nice. She's pretty easy on your pocketbook too. Like, she is awesome. She's got a great personality. Yeah, she cut his hair for $15. I mean, she's one of those hairdressers that care about your hair.
Oh, and she is tatted to fuck.
Oh yeah, she's tatted. Like, she's also a Disney freak, like I am. But like,
does she massage your shoulders, wash your hair, and let you watch ESPN while you do it?
I mean, you can watch stuff on your phone, but she doesn't massage your shoulders.
She'll wash your hair.
She'll wash her hair for you.
I'll just mess
with not every hairdresser has to give you a slow jack and a ball rub while they cut your hair.
It's not what I meant. They don't even you go into Sports Clip and you're like, you sit down, they don't even go, hey, how's your day going? Are you doing the MVP treatment? You're doing the MVP treatment, aren't you?
What you're like, it's all we're trained to do.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. All right, well, that's going to be $152.
Jesus.
What? I already said yes!
Can't back out. You already said yes. Sucker. No,
So
like you go to Ashley. She's located just south of where we are, and she's like I said, she's really great.
Mhm.
Like like she's one of those who cares so much about your hair because the whole fad nowadays is like dyeing your hair gray, but she's like, no, I will not damage your hair. Like she's like, I will not do it, and I respect her so much for that, for the fact that she'll be like, no, I'm not going to damage your hair.
also, shout out to the women who didn't use like gas masks when doing their hair back in the what 70s, 80s.
Oh, my grandmother, yeah.
No, not necessarily your grandmother.
Well, my grandmother, because it used to smell like gunpowder. It
Oh,
was
no,
strong.
that's not who I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the what was it called? The hairspray.
Oh, Aquanet.
Yeah, Aquanet.
Cancer in a can.
I feel like, and did any of you go get a haircut during the pandemic?
No.
No, I used to
Oh
always
my
have. I used to
gosh.
always have May cut my hair.
Yeah, I'd buzz his hair.
Literally, fucking, you'd go in there and you're being responsible. You have to wear a mask, but it's so hard to get a haircut with a mask on. It sucked.
I'll tell you one thing. No disrespect to my dad, he is not allowed to cut my hair.
You get that military haircut.
I get that fucking Marine haircut where it's shaved on the sides, a little bit on the top.
I love my dad. I love my dad to death. But growing up with my dad was one of those guys that had a mullet. Now my dad wasn't redneck. Like he wasn't. My dad was never redneck. But for some reason, he refused to get rid of his mullet, and he would love to cut his hair with a flat top and a mullet. So he had business in the front and a party going on in the back. I'm like, Dad. Like you could see his wedding photos of he still has that haircut with the mullet in the back and the flat top on top.
I'm gonna be that dad that I'm gonna go to like my son's graduation or something, and I'm gonna style my hair up in a fucking pompadour,
Oh, please don't.
and I'll rock that shit.
Just do what my dad. I still can't believe my dad shaved his head. I still can't believe he, like, because my dad is going bald in the back, and he doesn't like that. Like, because with our family history, he didn't get a chance to know his dad due to circumstances, and so like he never knew like if he would ever go bald. And I'm like, Dad, it's genetics. It's your mom that decides if you go bald or not, not your dad. He's like, yeah, but still. But he doesn't like the fact that he's going bald, and so he shaved his head completely down, and it threw me off when I saw it. I'm like, who is this man? I was just so confused. I'm like, this is not my dad.
You're not my dad.
You're not my dad. But he's like, I love it. My stepmom's like, oh, he's so sexy. I'm like,
I think
My
it
dad,
would be weird to see my dad bald.
I mean, he cuts his
My
hair
dad
short enough.
cut my hair one time. I was probably like 9, 10 years old, and he cut it and he's like, "All right, tell me if this looks fine." And I swear to God, I picked up this mirror, looked at it. Dude gave me a mohawk.
Yeah.
I started crying. I said, "Please, can you shave this off? I don't care if I'm bald. I just don't want this."
I love mohawks. I think they're cool.
I just don't. I don't think I could pull one off. No disrespect. There was this one kid in high school who had a mohawk that I'm not trying to exaggerate, but it was probably like fucking 2 to 3 feet tall. I don't know how much money he would spend on hair products, but he would do this every day.
Glue. It's glue.
And he pulled it off. Congrats to him. I just don't think I could ever do it.
Yeah, it's weird. Where are we at on time?
An hour and 3 minutes.
We've gone a bit over.
Oh, that's fine. But
Uh,
following up on the inspiration,
Yeah,
because
we've
I didn't
gotten
get a chance to say
massively
my
off
other
topic.
further inspiration. You jerks. For me, my dad always inspired me. Like he was one of those hardworking men that he would work 3 jobs to take care of me and my grandmother and his family, and like he never stopped working. He never gave up, and he never let me see him ever be down or upset or sad. And even now it's like I tell him, hey, I'm sorry if I ever disappointed you. He's like, you can never disappoint me. And I'm just like, I feel like I did some days, but he's one of my heroes that just inspire me to be better and push harder and to be a better person in the end. Like no matter what's been thrown at him, he's always stood up, puffed his chest out, and said, well, let's go, bring it. So He's been one of my biggest inspirations. So if you're listening,
Yeah.
Dad, thanks.
That's how I feel about my father. Yes, now due to circumstances, my father doesn't work. He's got bad feet and knees and arms, but I wouldn't be the man I am today. And he really picked up a lot after my mom passed away. So I'm nothing but grateful. And that also ties into like, with Scuba Steve and Smeagol's father, taking me in, and your mom and dad taking me in. So I'm nothing but grateful and blessed. And I'm not trying to tear up because I'm a little bitch, but if any of you are listening, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I'm always here.
Yeah. But I think we should call it there. We've been talking and just rambling in all honesty. We're over an hour, so
it never hurts. Well, make sure to go ahead and again follow us on all social media. Tru Alpha, Fang, and me. We appreciate all the love and support.
Subscribe.
Yep.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitch. Follow May on everything. Like she said, follow us all on our social medias. And thank you for tuning into the second episode. And we'll see you next week.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
We're gonna try and make this an every Sunday deal. Hopefully they're not always scuffed. Hopefully we have more to talk about and we're not sitting there in silence for a hot minute. And stay healthy, stay happy.
We thank you and we appreciate the love and support. And just remember, always try and stay happy and healthy. So until next time.
Love you all.
Bye.